Hello everyone, here I have for you today a Tonka van. As you can see, this thing is pretty rusty. I bought it off of eBay, and this is my first time ever trying to do anything with a Tonka. I've seen some restorations online and I'm interested to give it a try. As you can see, it's missing quite a bit of paint. It's got some cobwebs on the bottom. The plastic is pretty fogged. The interior is filthy, and so I believe the way that you take these apart is you drill out this rivet here in the front, you bend the tabs here by the wheels, and then there's tabs in the back here and in the front, and you bend those. So I'm gonna try to do that now, so let's see what happens with that. So as you can see, I threw this in a vise and have a number of tools laid out here. I've never done this in person, so please forgive me for if this is really bad, but let's see if I can bend this stuff out of the way. So this wheel is free. Oh, okay, I just messed up the paint a little bit. It looked like it cracked the metal for a second and it gave me a mini heart attack. I think these little needle nose are all I really need, because as you can see, I got the wheels off already. And now I can more easily get in and try to bend these little tabs up. Oop, it looks like it's gonna come. Yep, got it, there it goes. And there it goes, I got the base off. So, man, good sized piece of paint in there. The interior, I believe, can't come out because it's being held in by that rivet. I really don't know. But I'll look at it and I'll show you my conclusion in just a moment. I was tinkering with it a little bit and this came apart with these tabs here, so I'm thinking I might be able to take this out without removing the rivet, just like that. So now I get a clear view on how this is held together and another piece of rusty paint. Oh, so this windshield just comes out like this. Quite a simple piece, and I actually didn't even have to unrivet it. I just had to take this piece here apart. I'll probably try to practice putting it together a couple times so I get some practice in advance, but this wasn't too difficult to do. And I get a good look at the inside of the vehicle. There's quite a few dead spiders that I found in here. There was one on the bottom of here and here and here. Luckily there were no live ones, because that would have been a pain for you to have to see me get surprised by a spider. But this thing is really dirty and rusty and needs this paint off of here so I can repaint it. So what I'm gonna have to do now is I'm going to paint strip the remainder of this body so that I can prime it and then repaint it. So next step is paint stripping. I know I said I was planning on paint stripping this, but I ended up having the opportunity to sandblast it because my cousin allowed me to use his sandblaster, and I think it came out pretty good from the sandblaster. Unfortunately, it was raining and got a couple drops on here which rusted, but the plan is I'm going to put some Rust-Oleum primer on this and then paint it with some Rust-Oleum paint. I'm going to do some black enamel on this, some high gloss, and then some yellow on the van chassis or body, and then the wheels I'm gonna have to look at next because the axles are a bit rusty, so I'm gonna be looking at those. Well, as you can see, I put some primer on the bottom side of these. I didn't do the top and body portions because
I want to do the unseen spots first, since if I messed up, and it wouldn't affect the visual view of them, and also the overspray won't affect the outside. I also have on here a part of my boat trailer that I sprayed and sandblasted, but I will then, after this dries, turn these over and use the Rust-Oleum spray paint primer for the visible sides of them. And just for your reference, this is the stuff that I used. This is some Rust-Oleum automotive primer, pretty simple stuff. I think it's gonna come out pretty good, hopefully.
These are the wheels and axles on the model. I'm going to attempt to wash them in soapy water and see how they come out, and then I'm going to take the axles and I'm going to sand them. I mean, probably by putting one end in a drill and spinning them around and putting some sandpaper into them. So I'll show you what that looks like when that's been done. Here are the wheels after they've been cleaned. As you can see, they're a little less dirty. They look pretty good. The axles are nice and shiny. Now, the only problem I'm having here is that some of these wheels, when I took them off, plastic on the edge there, you see it's broken, and they don't fasten quite right. They just pop right off pretty easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably put a little silicone to hold them in place, because I don't want to permanently glue them in case I want to take them apart in the future. I don't want to damage them and take them apart if I need to, so I'm going to just use some silicone on them. Well, as you may remember, the interior and windshield on this are pretty dirty. I'm going to try to wash it up with some soapy water and see if I need to polish this windshield or if it'll come out good enough that it doesn't need polishing.
Okay, so here are all the parts of the van. As you can see, the axle is cleaned up pretty nice, and I ended up siliconing the wheels that were damaged on the plastic parts on the inside, so that they are able to be taken apart again. Hopefully it holds good. If not, I'm going to have to glue it. I cleaned up the windshield, which came out a bit nicer, and the interior also, you can see it's a bit more white. Base is painted in a nice black color, and then this took a couple tries because this paint isn't the greatest. It's just some Rust-Oleum yellow 2-in-1 paint and primer that I used over top the primer I put on. But it's a little bit lighter than the original color, but not bad, so it should work good. I also put some masking tape over the needle nose pliers I'm going to use to bend the tabs, just to try to prevent scratching the paint on the tabs if I can. I'm going to try to film putting this thing back together just after I grab some gloves. So I just got some gloves and I'm going to try to put this together. Now I'm probably going to end up scratching some stuff and I'm going to have to touch up the paint, but that's okay. So I'll start with the windshield. I need to flex the body a little bit to get it to pop into place. I'm not terribly worried about scratching the paint on the interior because that's not going to be very visible. Now this I have to get to fit into the spot in the front there with the grill. The paint should be pretty cured. It's been sitting over 48 hours. Well, the base has been even longer than that, but the yellow has been sitting over 48 hours. I'm wearing the gloves, if I didn't mention before, because I don't want to risk getting any scratches on the paint. My first take, I had a little trouble getting the tabs on. I'm going to try again. Cut that part out. I think I was supposed to start with the front, and I didn't. That kind of helps put it on. Yep, see, got it on right the way. I was having trouble getting it on from the other direction, but now it's on correctly. And I think I did pretty minimal on the paint loss, just a little bit on the tabs. Not terrible. Only in spots you can't really see very well, which is always a win. So I'm just going to place these wheels back in here. And now I need to bend the tabs. I'm a little nervous doing that because I don't want to screw it up, but let's see what happens. So I'll start with the back tabs. I'm going to use the smaller needle nose pliers. Put it that way. Actually, I think it's easier with the wheels out, so I'm going to remove those actually. And there we go. It's all been assembled. I'll show you what it looks like after I've touched up those little spots that I messed up, and the nice photo shoot will follow. So this is what the van looked like before we started. See, it was missing a good amount of paint and it was really rusty. The interior was nasty and the windows were dirty. But now it has been redone and looks like this. Hope you enjoyed watching. It was fun to do this adventure. I'd never restored something like this, and I hope to do more of these in the future. I now actually own a sandblaster, so it should be a lot easier for me to do restorations like this in the future. I have a couple larger Tonkas I might look at doing sometime, but I hope you liked the video. Leave a like and subscribe for more. Thank you.